Hello there, students. CNC Education Consult. I welcome you once again to the Everyday Student Podcast, and we are looking at episode 14 of this podcast. And the topic is learning spaces. Learning spaces. Parents, I believe you are helping your children subscribe to these channels on YouTube, CNC Edu Consult TV GH1 and Glorycom Liona Things TV. Please do so because these are very intentional and practical episodes that will help the students progress. And we hope and believe that you are doing this because doing is an action word, and we expect you to do same. Learning spaces. Yes, in our previous episodes, that is episode 4, we spoke about learning spaces. But it is also important that we stress on some of the episodes we give during the Everyday Student Podcast because we have seen that when we hammer or when we throw more light on most of the episodes or all of them, the students will be able to implement them. And these episodes are not only good for students, but they are also good for all of us as humans that want to progress. So learning spaces, students, I mean, just as at home, there are several places designated for certain purposes. The building, that is the house, there are several demarcations or there are several departments that have been put or set aside for certain purposes. Take, for instance, in the room, you have the kitchen, you have the bedroom, you have the bathroom, and the likes. Now, the work of the kitchen is different from that of the bedroom. And the work of the bedroom is also different from that of the bathroom. Now, what it means here is that in as much as spaces are dedicated for these important activities, it is also important that as students in your various homes, you create a little corner that will be solely dedicated for learning. But what do we see these days? I've spoken with most of my students, and I've also visited most of them in their various homes. And I realize that many of them do not have places of learning, places that are specially dedicated for learning. And this has affected or is affecting their performance, be it in classwork, homework, group work, or even examination. So we have come once again to stress the need that parents will help us help the students to create a space in their various homes dedicated solely for learning. So we call this space learning space or learning spaces. I mean, if this is not done, the child or the children can just pick anywhere and be learning. And when you pick anywhere for learning, definitely there's going to be some lapses because that space is not a space dedicated solely for learning. So that means you randomly you just pick book and then go anywhere and learn. But if there is a space, a corner, a room that is created for learning, and that space is filled with a whole lot of learning materials, the children will know that it is important to go in there for learning. Now, these spaces may not necessarily be a big room. Yes, parents who can afford, parents who are living in their own apartments and have lots of spaces can dedicate a room for their children as a learning space. And parents, it's your duty to make sure that these children decorate that room or those rooms with learning materials like books, mathematical sets, uh, stationaries, and the likes, materials that aid learning. No distraction. Because like I said, a cooking utensils cannot be kept in a what? In a room dedicated for learning. So it is very important that the room that you have dedicated for your words for learning, only learning materials, as I've mentioned, should be kept there. And there should be timetable, personal timetable, apart from the timetable that is normally given in schools. Students must also be able to have their personal timetable. And in the previous lessons, I've taught you how to design your own timetable because your day is filled with a lot of activities, particularly when you go to school, you are you are you are given a lot of work, or there is a lot to do at school. And when you return, the assignments that have been given you will also need time to do. So I have I have encouraged students to create, let's say, on your personal timetable, at least if you have a core subject and an elective for a night or for an evening, it is okay. You don't need to load your personal timetable with a whole lot of subjects that you know you cannot be able to I mean, you cannot achieve. But if you have at least a core subject with an elective, and then you spend the rest of the time to do your homework, it is very important. So we encourage you to implement these principles, because when you do this, they will become part and parcel of you, and you will see a lot of improvement in your classwork, your group work, your homework, and your examination, because that is what we wish for you at CNC Education Council. We want you to be the best. Our focus is providing help and educational support for all students. So we are leaving no stone unturned. We want you all to do well and then become successful. On this note, we also like to use the opportunity once again to congratulate the current BC candidates who have just finished junior high, and also wish those who are sitting for their West African Senior Certificate examination best of luck. We know you will do us proud and you will do yourselves proud. CNC Education Consult. We are on Facebook, CNC Education Consult, TikTok, CNC Education Consult, YouTube, we are there, CNC Edu Consult TVGH1, and Instagram info at CNC Education Edu Consult GH1. You want to reach out to us, we are on +233 540 230 709, +233 540 230 709, or 020 84 77 530. CNC Education Consult. Tomorrow begins today and now. Thank you.